Imagine if there had been a living area above this garage. Imagine it's rocking back and forth, left to right, and what would have happened. In such a case, the garage could easily have collapsed, causing catastrophic damage to the living area above. You can see the garage doors on either side of this building's entranceway. The floor above the entranceway rocked back and forth to the left and to the right and was in danger of collapse before the earthquake stopped. Here you can see how very narrow walls on either side of the garage door opening collapsed. This was in the Santa Cruz Hills in the 1989 earthquake. In the upper photograph, we see a home with a living area above a garage. On either side of the garage door opening, we have narrow walls that can tip over in an earthquake because of overturning forces. If these walls tip over, the sort of damage we see in the lower photograph can occur. One of the ways of dealing with this problem is with the moment frame. A moment frame is a very large steel frame embedded in concrete that resists all the earthquake forces as the floor above the garage door opening rocks back and forth. One way of addressing the weakness caused by a living area above a garage is the installation of what's called a cantilevered column. A cantilevered column is embedded in concrete at its base, which includes a lot of rebar, and at the top it is attached to the floor. This cantilevered column is very stiff, very rigid, very strong. And when the floor tries to move to the left, it's resisted by this column, and when it tries to move to the right, it's also resisted by this column. This is a photograph of the concrete that the cantilevered column is embedded in. It extends from one end of the garage to the other. The amount of concrete and the amount of rebar in this concrete must be determined by a structural engineer. So here's a photograph of the rebar that's been placed inside the trench of concrete that is attached to our cantilevered column. Notice the sledgehammer on the right with the orange head. This gives you some sort of perspective on how large the column is and how deep the foundation is.